Hello everyone, welcome to Chewy Cinematic Talk. And today we're going to be talking about Fantastic Four First Steps, so let's get into it. So off the bat, let me tell you, I love this movie quite a lot. And I'm pleasantly surprised by how it kind of flourished around everything, but I'm kind of skipping ahead. Just so you know, this is a non-spoiler review, so things might be vague, just to not spoil anything for anyone. I will go over the things that I like about the movie the most, and then the two or one things that didn't really fit much in my opinion. But that's just me nitpicking the movie. Anyways, let's get into it. The things that I like about the movie off the bat are the fact that when you begin watching it, it goes into them being Fantastic Four. They are already established. There's no need for a backstory because at this point we already had three iterations. The comic books, the cartoons, everything is out there for us to know. So if you don't know how they got their powers, then I don't know what to tell you, but I think by now everyone should know. So yes, I love the fact that it went straight into that without wasting any of our time. It was actually giving us options or more available time for the actual plot itself, and that was much really appreciated, honestly. I really like that, and we got to see more of them being themselves rather than trying to figure out who they are. And then above everything else, I love the chemistry. The chemistry between Ben, Johnny, Sue, Reed, everyone was just phenomenal. It was amazing seeing them not bicker with each other. It was amazing watching them just be family, honestly. So yes, I really, really love that aspect of the movie. So then, let's go on to my next point. Even though it was about family dynamic, you can clearly tell how much they know each other and how much they care about each other and how much they respect each other. That was nice to see. On top of that, everyone felt human. And that is really important to me because you can go see a movie, and of course, I'm talking about superheroes, but you can go see a Marvel movie, a DC movie, the good ones, and at times they are just a bit too overpowered or they are just too non human. And for this one, I appreciate how they all are human, they all have their certain perspectives in lives, and you can tell that they overall want to do good for everyone around them. And talking about everyone around them, this movie does not take place in 616. I'm only saying this because everyone knows about this. The Fantastic Four First Steps takes place in their own universe. And that is another thing that I liked about it. But I'll get into that in a bit. On top of them being family and on top of them getting so well along with each other, I really like the retro feel in this movie. I like the whole Kirby. I like the the ships. I like the overall look. The aesthetic was pretty unique. So that was really nice to see. Thank you for that. And another thing that I liked about it was the fact that it felt grounded. It felt mature and it had good comedy. It was not forced at all, except for maybe like one thing. But I might get into that in my spoilers review. But for now, the balance with everything was pretty good. And again, much appreciated. Another thing that I really liked about it was that how, due to them being in their own different universe, nothing related to the 616, you can tell, you can get a feeling that everything was high stake and it felt complete in its own world. This means that, never mind, that's getting into spoiler territory. But let me tell you that due to the fact that they are in their own universe, not tied down to anything else, you can tell that things were actually hitting hard and the stakes were pretty high. The one thing that I liked about it a lot was also the VFX, the CGI, except for one scene in particular, but I cannot say what that is, but it relates with the baby. I'll talk about that in my spoiler review. But other than that, it was good CGI VFX. So, on to my next point. Another thing that I really liked about the movie was its pacing. Every scene was well managed, every scene led to the next in an appropriate manner, and nothing or not one scene felt forced. And you can honestly see this movie without having to have watched anything within the MCU, and I really like that. Honestly, I wish we got a chance to see everyone's powers a bit more, but I get it. This is a movie about story and family, not about showing off their powers, because we all know what they can do. So that's perfectly fine with me. But I do wish we could see a bit more of the powers. But anyways, So, aside from the powers, the family dynamic, the good CGI, the good pacing, I loved Galactus. This guy is scary as hell. The fact that he can do what he does, the fact that he destroys planets basically, that was just amazing to see. And it felt nice to see him in an actual body, not like an actual cloud. Let me show you how he looked like. So yes, this is how he looked like. Bada bing, bada boom. So yeah, being able to see him in his full body, his full helmet, everything, the fact that he was humongous, it was just amazing to see this in the big screen. And tip, I saw this movie in IMAX. I should never tell anyone how to see it or how to spend their money because I'm not working for that money, I only work for my own. But I recommend it at least seeing it once in IMAX because there are scenes with Galactus that are kind of cut short due to, of course, its ratio. So if you have, I shouldn't say that, but if you want to experience the full cinematic experience, I recommend IMAX for sure. But regardless, you will still love the movie in any format that you watch it. Okay, so on top of Galactus being amazing and pretty scary, honestly, it was just, I know I said this, but it was refreshing to know that this film was not tied down to anything by the MCU. It had the ability to stand on its own, and you can go into this movie watching it and fully understand everything that's happening without having to do any homework, without having to know what's happening in the whole 616 universe or the MCU. I would say, for one minor thing, the only thing that would be nice to know is what the movie Doomsday will be about. So just keep that in mind. So, in my opinion, because of this is perfect because everyone that was casted, Sue Storm, Johnny, Reed, The Thing, Ben, everyone that were casted, they are perfect for the roles. And the fact that they can continue to be, hopefully in the sequel, and of course we all know Doomsday and then Secret Wars, I just love the fact that they can bring them over and then join forces or see how things unfold with everyone because it's going to be really exciting. And then the only thing, like I said, that you need to know is who the main villain now is. And for that, you're going to be excited once you see the whole movie. But anyways, now let's move on to what I think about each main character. So the one character that I wanted to talk about at least first was Johnny, the Human Torch. In the previous iterations of him in the movies and the comics, he was always like a stud, the guy to just mess around and try to be with girls and just be a stud basically. But in this movie, he was not just that. He was not all about just getting the girls. He actually had something to do, and that was nice. That was a good change of pace, which I really enjoyed. It was good seeing Johnny do something else rather than just show off his body, go into flames, which we all know, good looking, but there is more to that in this movie than just being, sexy and whatnot. But the one thing that I really liked about him as well was the fact that he wanted to help out his family as much as he could and not just, again, show off his body and show off his powers and just be who he is in the original movies. That was a nice touch. Now on to Ben. This guy is tough, he's huge, he's strong, but even though he's tough, you can tell that he has a great caring soul. And I think that's all I can say about him without going into spoiler territory. But I would say that he likes to punch things. Or any time that he has a chance to punch or even express that he wants to punch something, he expresses his mind for sure. And he is a bit of the comedy here, along with Johnny. And even Reed has a little line here that made me laugh. But anyways, let me tell you that his beard looked really good too. And now to Sue. She in this movie is a diplomat. She is the reason why you know never to mess around with the mother, because if you do, things unfold not the way that you want them to. And that's all I can say without going into spoiler territory. And then of course, Reed, Mr. Fantastic. I gotta say, the casting for him was phenomenal. At first I was like, Pedro Pascal, but then after watching the film, oh boy, it was on point in the sense that I am happy to know that a Hispanic is playing someone really important in this world, or not in 616 yet, but he will soon enough. And the fact that it was great casting, he knows exactly how to do his part. You can tell that he knows what to do, but he doesn't know fully if he should go about it all the way through. Again, no spoilers, so that's all I can say. And then again, I go back to this, the family dynamic, the presence on screen together, which was pretty good, and it left a mark on me thinking, damn, family should be like this no matter where they come from or how far they are from each other. Hopefully everyone is like this, but you know, the real world happens. But regardless, it was nice to see a family that was actually getting along very well and they knew each other front and back, and that was amazing again. The one scene that I can talk about that I really enjoyed, only because it was in the actual trailers, is when Galactus goes into New York City and does this thing. That's all I'm going to say, but that whole scene itself was pretty entertaining to say the least. I will say that. And then, of course, the Silver Surfer. She was not what I thought that she was going to be, and that was again pleasant to watch. So yeah, pretty good movie overall. Now I'm going to tell you the two things I did not like much about the movie. Honestly, at this point, I'm just nitpicking it, but here they go. One of them regards the baby. That gave me Twilight vibes, but you will see and understand once you actually see the movie. So again, no spoilers. And then the other thing that's just nitpicking is the fact that I wish that it was a bit longer. I can watch these people do what they gotta do all day long. But this is where we get the sequel, and heck yeah, you got my money already. So then yeah. So basically, it's crazy to know that it took 3 movies to get to where we are today. I love the fact that it's now under the MCU, under Kevin Feige. Well, I don't know if you know this, but Kevin Feige actually really cares about the Fantastic Four. You can tell by the fact that they put a lot of work into this. And again, casting was perfect, good action, good emotional depth. The scenes, they all flowed next to each other perfectly well. It was all stitched together very fine, and really appreciate the good movie, especially when it's this good. So because of this, I highly recommend watching this in theater. Again, I watched it in IMAX, but you can watch it in any format that you want. As long as you go out and see it, we can all experience the cinematic experience together. My rating system is still iffy, it's still kind of up in the air, so for now I will keep it simple. I would say between 1 and 5, I would say I gave it a 4.5. It's not a perfect movie, but it's pretty darn good. So the one thing I would say is this is the true cinematic experience in theater. So if you watch it and if you like it, what I'm gonna do is buy it in 4K Steelbook, so you should as well. And so because of this, I will end the video by saying thank you for all of your time. Please hit the subscribe button if you have not already, and thank you for your patience with this video. I know I did the out of the theater reaction basically on Thursday last week. Thank you for your patience. So yeah, please subscribe. And up next, what I want to talk about is the spoiler review, but mainly Superman. I saw Superman when it came out, and honestly, I've already seen it 4 times, and that is a movie that got me into doing these videos. So yeah, I'm pretty excited for the review. So yeah, people, thank you for all of your time. Thank you for being here, and take care. See you next time. Take care, guys.